This exact strategy currently books us calls for as little as $9 and turns them into $1,800 clients consistently with completely cold traffic, with absolutely ridiculous show and close rates. So we literally got a money printer sitting here. And if you don't believe me, I just want to show you real quick some stats in the Meta Ads Manager. As you can see over there, currently booking calls for $9. Over there, calls for $19, right? Our client writing already just made a 1.8K PIF of the VSL funnel. Yes, we're talking about a call funnel today, and you can see all the different WAP payments coming in from right now in the Airtable tracker. Currently at already 62K revenue, and we're March 23rd, as you can see over there. So we still got 1 week to go, and this is absolutely ridiculous because we've got a money printer sitting here. As you can see, we're paying $9, booking in sales calls. Then obviously not all of them show up, but a lot of them show up, right? A significant amount of them closes. So around 5 calls already got us $1,800 close. So currently our capacity with our closes is completely full. I can still remember when we turned this money printer here on, our client was taking the sales calls them himself. Now he's already got hired three new closers, and he's currently working on getting his 2 setters to transition to closers. So we will have around 5 closers on this team, literally from zero, right? From him taking the calls himself, simply because we can provide him with so much volume, right? And as you can see, the numbers speak for themselves. So in this video, I will run you through everything. Like literally, this campaign is currently even doing better than our bi-monthly webinars for this client. And we run fully cold since our client knew he has no following, right? So nearly all of the leads coming from there are coming from paid Meta ads, right? It's, by the way, in the sales coaching space, so in the info product biz of niche. And yeah, before implementing this funnel, our client was at around 15 to 20K a month. Now you will probably hit 70K in revenue. So we kind of nearly 4x what he's making just by implementing our systems. Yeah. So basically, in this video, I will run you through the best practice call funnel. And I don't want you to take this slightly because, look, you might be thinking, I already got a call funnel in place. It's super easy to implement. Everyone is doing call funnels, but I'm telling you, the truth is, there's so different levels. There are levels to the shit, okay? There are different levels to call funnels. And most call funnels that I see online are all yappers. Like literally, I'm fronting the entire industry here because most call funnels that I see when I'm doing actively, sometimes outreaching, when I'm analyzing competitors, I see most of the call funnels have so much potential to grow. And I'm not saying this to kind of sound arrogant or whatever, but simply because I want to make you guys more money, okay? I want to make all of us more money, this entire world. So this is why we need a dialed-in call funnel. Here's what a dialed-in call funnel doesn't look like, okay? If it has a non-converting video sales letter, an application that builds massive friction, makes absolutely no sense. So if you're currently starting your application with, hey, what's your name? What's your phone? What's your email? But probably 90% of you out there are doing it wrong, right? It has no due diligence confirmation page. We're going to talk about all this in a second. It has no sales assets embedded in this entire process and no alignment with the content. So basically no alignment with the ads, with the emails, with the hammer ads that you probably don't have in place right now. And yeah, especially when you go cold, you will notice how your money is burning away because you haven't optimized your call funnel for conversion loss. Do you know why most of these call funnels that are kind of lacking on all parts and set up with a lot of flaws, why they're still converting? Because it's just organic traffic. And these organic traffic would have converted as well if you literally would have put a account link in front of them, right? So you wouldn't have needed a call funnel for a lot of organic traffic. But however, if you set up a call funnel the right way, there's fucking magic happening there. And I want to show you everything in this video, okay? I just want to run you through the maths real quick, right? So let's say we have a mid VSL funnel over there, right? Not a good VSL funnel, isn't the worst as well, but let's say we're spending around 10K on ads, okay? With the mid VSL funnel. Offer price is 5K. We're getting a cost per qualified call for around $200, which is quite a bit high. But yeah, we're getting a show up rate of 50%, which is definitely has room for improvement. Close rate up for around 20%, also room for improvement, which would mean per month we would book 50 qualified calls. 25 show ups, 5 close deals, meaning we would pay a $400 cost per show up and a $2,000 cost per close deal, meaning for every 5K that we put in, meaning for every, what would it be though? $2,000 cost per closed deal. All right. So meaning it would basically take us 2K to close the deal. We would get 5K out, meaning we would make around a 3K profit, right? Yeah, the revenue and returns, we would basically generate an over revenue of 25K. Gross profit would be 15K since we spent 10K on ads. We would have a 2.5x ROI, which is okay, but nothing great. 150% ROI, right? And yeah, our annual ad spend would be 120K and annual revenue around 300K. Again, this can be maximized in a completely different way if you set up the VSL funnel in a good way. Here's how a good VSL funnel looks like. I just want you to understand why all of the shit matters that we're going to talk about in this video, simply because you can make so much more money from an optimized VSL funnel, no matter if you currently want to do this for your warm traffic or if you want to start running ads, and especially for ads. Ads just show you, like all these video games where you can I don't know, I never played it much to be honest, but I know like there's kind of this simulator world, like kind of the where you can do literally everything. You have unlimited lives, you can do all of that. This is literally what you do with organic content, but when you're running paid ads, you go out there. It's like a one-on-one shooter, you know what I'm saying? So you're getting out there in the real world, okay? And every single conversion loss is getting punished. So you want to make sure that the VSL funnel is dialed in. Over there, for example, let's say we spend 10K on ads. We have an offer price for 5K. We're booking qualified calls for around $80. 70% show up because we've got the best due diligence practices that I'm going to run you through in this video. We've closed 30% of our deals because we've got a sales manager in place. We're reviewing calls. We have EOD forms. We have iMessages. We have pre-call assets. We have a best due diligence confirmation page. We run Hammer ads, right? Then, which would already be an increase of 10% over there. Then let's say we have around 125 qualified calls a month, 87 calls show up, 26 calls close on average, right? Our cost per qualified call would be 80, which is currently, I don't want to pull up the ads manager right now, but you've seen enough videos here on this channel probably to believe that I'm actually credible. We're currently booking calls for around, $77 in the US market with this strategy as well. The new cost per show would be 114, cost per close deal 380. Can you see the difference, guys? Here, a non-optimized VSL funnel and an optimized VSL funnel. You're paying $1,600 less with the optimized one, okay? Meaning your total revenue per month would be around 130K. Your gross profit 120K, you would have a 13x ROAS. So significantly more than with the non-optimized version, you would make more than $1 million a year, right? So absolutely ridiculous what such a small tweak can actually do. And as you can see, do you remember the numbers over there? Sharp rate 70%, close rate 30%. Can you see? I mean, I didn't pull these numbers out of anywhere, okay? These are the exact numbers that we currently see. They can still be better. Our show rate could be brought to 80% if we would run better Hammer ads, which we're currently implementing, right? However, I also, at the end of this video, I will show you our high-ticket revenue forecast so I can actually show you how optimized call funnel would look like for you with your current offer price, with your current ad spend, ad budget that you want to spend, or if you just want to go completely organic with the current views that you're averaging. I will also give you this revenue forecaster for free if you DM me forecaster on Instagram. I won't set up an automation, but just DM me forecaster and me or my setter is going to answer to you, right? Anyways, so basically, we have two different systems for this VSL funnel in place for this guy, right? Where we're currently booking calls for $9. We have a conversion optimized entry point and we have a due diligence confirmation page. I just want to show you the conversion optimized entry points, which is essentially our landing page of this entire VSL funnel, structured in a pretty small way. By the way, we're not in the US market with this offer. We're in a pretty special market I won't reveal the exact market that we're in simply because I don't want to have too much competition in there. I want you guys to spend ads in this, on ads in this market. But again, this obviously applies to every single thing that you are doing right now in the US market. And as I said, we're currently booking calls for around $80 in the US market as well. However, in this market, it's absolutely profitable because we're obviously selling our offer for a lower price. However, still, just the ratio when you put this into kind of ratio $9 to around $1,800 per close per deal, compared to in the US market, this would be something like $80 with a 5K deal. And we're like, just the ratio percentage wise, we're making significantly more in this market. Anyways, so what we have set up over there is a pretty simple structure. We've got a headline that talks to the dream outcome of our ICP. So as you can see over there, learn remote sales. Yes, it's a sales coaching offer to become a digital deal maker, our unique mechanism, and potentially start earning US level income from your laptop. Why do we say potentially? Because we don't want to make a guaranteed claim here, because Meta is going to flag us. Meta is, by the way, scanning every single word on your landing pages, and they will know if you make income claims that are misleading, which breaks with their guidelines and their compliance guidelines. And they will punish you with either a completely flagged and banned ad account, which can happen a lot of times, or they will simply punish you with higher CPMs, meaning you're paying more to get your ads in front of your customer. So make sure this is dialed in. We're talking basically with US level income in this market. We are appealing to their status to be superior of others. Yeah, I'm adding US level income. Wow. Okay. From my laptop, obviously, is comfort. And obviously, just earning higher income from the laptop talks to status, comfort, and protection of loved ones. Okay, I can buy my mom a house. I can do this. I can do that. Right. And we include a unique mechanism, which is in our case digital deal making. It's a remote sales coaching, but we created this unique mechanism, digital deal making, to break with old stereotypes of, for example, being a slimy salesperson, and simply making it sound way more logical and putting our own kind of tweak on this entire thing, right? So, subheadline is the only skill that you need to earn US level income without needing to start a business. Only still without needing to start a business. This is a main pain point that obviously a lot of people have who see all this online money stuff. And we say, no, you don't need to start a business. We could even say risking your capital. Again, be a bit, you need to be careful with don't risk your capital, because when you say don't risk your capital in your headline, Meta will scan this as well. And your leads obviously will respond to this, meaning you will get a lot of people who don't want to risk capital, meaning they don't want to invest anything. So I wouldn't do it. I would say simply, without hours of investing into a business that flops, or without needing to start a business from scratch, this is something we could add in there as well. I'm going to do it after. I love this analysis because I'm always kind of optimizing my own copy. And we're easing the pain of learning digital deal making by simply framing it as one skill. Okay, one skill. Reduce friction over there. Now, then obviously what you can see on this page is the third thing on this page is our nice edited video sales letter, which is around 8 to 15 minutes long, explains the opportunity and qualifies the leads. Obviously, like when we would have simply removed this video sales letter, we would have less friction on this page, because people can simply click to apply. They don't have to watch a 15-minute video to do so. But we want them to watch the video because we only want qualified leads and leads with high intent, who actually know what's going on in our funnel. So, and our video sales letter follows the VSL best practices, which are essentially explaining the opportunity, then transitioning to the transformation promise, introducing the founder's story, meaning going from pain to dream outcome, then introducing student proof and borrowed authority principles in there, explaining the unique mechanism, delivering a cross-route option, breaking down the offer, and then transitioning to the urgency and the CTA. And I won't read the entire VSL out loud in this video, but I will just show you real quick how this basically looks like in this exact VSL that we currently have on this page. So we first of all explain the opportunity. If you've got the laptop, this is a qualifier, by the way, because in this market, having a laptop already means you kind of part of a higher income demographic, and you're currently based in this special market, remote sales is the biggest opportunity you can take advantage of in 2026. Urgency, 2026 opportunity. Don't take my word. Hundreds of people just like you are taking advantage of this opportunity to make upwards of X amount per month as a digital deal maker. This is obviously our transformation promise. We're saying how much they can potentially make with this skill. Then we have the founder story. Then again, we have the opportunity. Online coaches are desperate for English-speaking salespeople who can handle their inbound traffic, get paid in commission. And then we're easing the pain while most people are trying to become CEOs, start businesses with no experience. We're learning one simple in-demand skill, again, eases the pain, keeps the entire billion-dollar machine running. And this kind of visualizes, obviously, okay, you are the people keeping this entire machine running, explains the opportunity, creates kind of like this a bandwagon effect. This is something. So basically, when you can think of a train, we're kind of painting this image of a massive, massive train, which is moving forward, and we're telling him this train exists anyways, right? You just need to hop on this train and get your piece of the pie, right? And this is the bandwagon effect, by the way, that we're taking advantage of here. Then the founder story. Okay, we're explaining his worst times, making him feel authentic, being human, building trust and authenticity with our audience. 4 years ago, I dropped out of university, scammed, tried every business model. Everything changed when I discovered sales, and here's how much income I made, right? And then we introduced student proof over there directly to show, okay, this might have worked for me, but look, it doesn't only work for me. It also works for my students. And then we show the students, show his pain. He was waiting tables, and now he's making a lot of money, right? He was missing freedom. He had a boss breathing down his neck, small paycheck, remote commissions. And then we're using borrowed authority because he essentially placed some of his leads on offers of Samuel Anuha and Sean Fringpong. So he's saying, yo, currently my students are working for these guys. So we're borrowing their authority simply by putting them in the ranks of this offer and telling, yo, look, here's what becomes possible. We directly work with these people. We borrow authority over there as well. Alex Hormozi, Iman Gaji, Alex Eubank need salespeople, right? Simply to explain it, we're borrowing their authority here. And the next thing that we do is we introduce the unique mechanism. So what it actually is, we explain sales in pretty similar, easy word. You're connecting high intent warm prospects with online businesses through Zoom calls or Instagram DMs and so on. Okay. And then we have the crossroad option. We're basically presenting them 2 paths. There are 3 paths you can do. We went with 3. Okay. Path 1 is trying to figure it out yourself and hopefully get it right after years of trial and error because you simply don't know how the industry works, how to land around it. Most importantly, you lack access to a network. So we're increasing the pain of doing it all their own. Then we want to present the way of doing it with us as the easiest and most affordable option. 2 is doing it with someone else. There are a lot of people, but none of them is in the trenches. Even if you understand your situation in this market, there isn't anyone teaching remote sales here properly, which is fact. Most easiest and most profitable way is by following my roadmap. And then we break down the offer. Basically, we break down we don't break down the entire offer there. I'm not the biggest fan of MSLs that explain everything in depth there, make another value stack, answer down, drop the price, maybe even. I'm not a fan of doing this. I wanted to present the sales call as something like that, but I want to obviously emphasize what they're getting by joining. It's because I only want the high intent people in there. So kind of, you're getting price in front of this. You have an entire code implementation program. And my students are working for the biggest e-commerce office in the world. And another student proof in here. We have the guarantee over there. Yes, and then this is the CTA to take action, free strategy session with my team or me. We should probably even change this because this will attract a lot of leads who are serious to show up for information. We should rather throw it to an enrollment session with me or my team. And then we basically telling them what we will do on the call. And some more student proof over there. And then again, a CTA to fill out the application. Some urgency, don't wait too long, spots are limited, high volume of applications, we'll likely be raising the prices to ensure we can continue delivering amazing results for our students. We're using this because we want to explain why we might be using prices. If we just say we rise prices, spots are limited, act now, people think, yeah, but why should I do that actually? Aren't you just using an urgency tactic there? But we're saying, no, we want to literally do the best for you guys. That's why we're doing it, right? So apply below and book your call now. Okay. This is our VSL. You see, it's no magic. It just follows the proven framework of the VSL best practices and obviously talks to our ideal client persona over there with all the examples that we're using. Now, with that being said, next thing obviously is the application form, as you can see over there. The application form is embedded in the website. Very, very, very important. Why do we embed it? Now, someone clicks there, can instantly fill out the application. Another thing would be to make them click on the application, then we send them to another website where the application is, which will already increase drop-off points. But because, like, think about it, someone clicks on your page, everything is in there. They click there, they still have the VSL above, and they can go out of the application, watch the VSL again. What we're doing with, if we're not embedding it, we basically introducing a unnecessary drop-off point. It will take time to load. It introduces a new frame. People will have to scan the environment first. Okay, what's happening? I'm getting redirected to a new page. You're losing people there, right? Which is why we want to embed it. Then we want to have full screen on mobile. Most of your traffic, around 85 to 90%, will be on mobile, maybe even more. So what we want to do is have full screen on mobile, meaning they click on there, they get the full screen. Why do we do this? Simply because we want to remove the room for the distractions, especially when you're asking for contact information or you're asking them to book in a call. They still see the client results over there. They still see the VSL over there. But they might go back, might watch this first, not book in a call, and it's something that we don't want. We want to enforce the full screen there. We want it to match the brand colors, simply because it looks nice, and obviously designing and branding talks a lot about the quality of what you're offering. Then a rule is, if you're getting too few leads in there, especially with a paid funnel, this can happen, or also with organic, reduce the friction of your application form or type form or whatever you might be using. If you're getting a lot of unqualified leads, you want to increase the friction. Okay, this is as simple as it gets. And then you want to have partial submit points. This is basically this thing over there in Typeform, which allows you to capture that data even though they didn't book in. So what we're doing, we're putting the Calendly step as a required step in the Typeform, so they can only submit if they book in a call here with Calendly. But we want to capture their information, especially their capital and their contact data, even if they don't book in a call, to still have the opportunity to outbound dial them and book them in if they're qualified, right? So this is why we have the partial submit point. Massive thing here. If you don't have a partial submit point, you're probably leaving around 20 to 30% of your money on the table. And then we have some conditional logic as well in the type form, which I'm going to run you through really quick to condition our pixel. So how does a type form look like? I'm going to run you through all that right now. We have the first question: where are you at in your remote sales journey? Okay, only include these questions if you're actually making them available for your sales team through CRM custom fields or backend automations. Okay, your sales team needs to leverage these questions in the sales process. And obviously, if the more information they have about a prospect upfront, the better they can design their pitch, their qualification process, their discovery, based on what we already know about the person, right? Now, obviously, I would talk completely different to a person who already has experience in the industry and wants to scale compared to someone who's just starting out, okay? Or you should introduce these questions as well. If you intentionally want to add friction there because you're getting too many unqualified leads, you just want to add more questions in there because you might still be getting a lot of unqualified leads who simply lie about their income. And you want to make sure the intent is high and these people actually have the endurance to fill out longer type form. But if you're not getting enough leads in there and leads are still qualified, reduce these questions. Another one is, what is the biggest thing you need help with right now? All right. Then we're collecting their name and their first name and their last name. Very important. Never ask this at the start. I see so many type forms who are asking this and all of this. Like, these are two separate fields, right? They first fill out these, and then only then they see this where we ask for number and email. And you know, so many people who have email and number in there as well. And this is the worst thing is that you can do, especially if you put it at the start, because people are way more likely to give you their contact data if you ask them something else before. They're already in there, they're already in the trenches, something else important, right? That's actually relevant and important for helping them with the sales process. And then only then we want to ask them for their contact data, because we're way more likely to continue things that we've started doing, right? This is the consistency bias. People want to say consistent. And if I've already asked them 3 things there, they've already answered them, they're way more likely to give me their contact info. And if I ask them the first name and last name first, they click on there, put it in, and then only then they see that I also want their number and their email. They're more likely to give me this because they have already given me their first name and their last name, right? So also here, select the country's code, phone number to reduce friction, getting more applicants. Split the name and the contact details too to reduce drop-offs. If they have already given you their name, they're more likely to give you the rest too. And worst thing that you can literally do is put all of this at the first page of your type form. I'm telling you, this can literally, with ads, this can take you, changing this can take you from a 1 or 2 extra hours to a 4 or 3 or 4 or even 5 extra hours. I'm telling you, it's so important to not put this at the first page of your type form, because a lot of people, when you're directly asking for the contact data, will drop off. Okay. Now, then we're asking them for their money, how much they have to invest. We also say, by the way, it's less. You normally in the US market, we go until 10K plus. But because we're not selling the highest priced offer, that's all I did here. And we're already always explaining why we want to have this. Okay. This will have to be dedicated to coaching as well as job placement. Okay, I'm paying for this. Right. I understand it, right? Then we have the partial submit point. We're collecting. We only obviously want to collect their data if we know if they're qualified or not. And then we have the partial submit point, and from there on, we're syncing this in with our backend information into our Discord or Slack or whatever you're using. And our setter can then outbound dial these leads and basically check, okay, they didn't book a call, but he will outbound dial them and try to book them in, try to qualify their budget, and so on. Right. So great thing to have here. You could even take the lead information and add them to a email sequence and say something like, hey, I saw you didn't book your call. You just filled out the automation. You didn't book your call. Just wanted to show you some more valuable stuff about why this matters. Although if I prepare a YouTube video, will it still get you some more booking? Definitely worth doing at scale if you're spending a significant amount. And this will still lead to more conversions of leads who then actually book in because we've captured their information. Now, are you open to invest into coaching and support to achieve this goal right now? We only add this, but you need to understand in this market are a lot of unqualified people, which is why we want to add more questions and introduce friction. You don't need it only if you want to introduce friction and increase lead intent. Then you'll be prompted to book in a call with you. Really be sure to book in. This is a commitment question. Since booking a call takes longer, we make them commit first to doing so, to then reduce the drop off in the following question. If they've already committed, they will be less likely to drop off there, right? If you don't ask them to commit, they will maybe get there to schedulers, see, okay, I need to book in a call right now. Okay, time. Okay, the Thursday evening, I was actually planning to go out on a date. Won't work for me. I won't show up to this call, right? But you make them commit first to make it more likely for them to actually show up. And then we embed the scheduler. Very, very, very important thing. You want to embed the scheduler, autofill first name, email, phone number already to reduce friction and make it more likely that they book in. Why do we embed the follower than the scheduler? First of all, Calendly and Typeform integrate. So you heavily reduce the drop-offs, right, by embedding it. Don't take this lightly, because lots of people will drop off before actually committing to a call. This is the highest friction that you have. Like actually making someone commit to a call. And when you send them to an external page, you're heavily increasing this friction. It's a new environment. There's the loading time in there below. And a lot of people will drop off by sending them to a new page. We want to have everything embedded in there in the Typeform to make it as smooth and as easy as possible and reduce our conversion drop-offs, right? So very, 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 very important thing here as well. And obviously, as you can see, we limit the days to 3. And I want to explain you right now why we do all this. First of all, we also have the conditional logic, meaning when someone has less than 500, what was it? I think $800, right? No, $500. I think I've increased it to $800 later. But yeah, if he has not enough money to invest, he will get sent to an FU page, right? If he has more than this to invest, you will be allowed to fill in all the other questions and then book in a call potentially. Why do we have 2 schedulers there? Because we had a different logic before where we only send the highest quality leads to a different closer with only his schedule on there, right? You could do this in Calendly with highest and lowest priority. However, you want to, like, if you just want to send one certain question to one certain calendar, like people who have one certain budget to one certain calendar, you need to do it with 2 different calendars, which is why we had this in place. We've now removed it. It's now a round robin event, and then they get sent to the pixel confirmation page, right? And we only want to report qualified leads to back to a pixel, which is basically our entire meta tracking AI system behind all of that. And we only want qualified people to send there, because if we don't, we will flood our pixel with unqualified lead data, meaning our pixel would have for more unqualified leads, and we would only attract brokies. Okay, you can even just let through the most qualified leads, so only the people who have 3K to invest, and send the others to an unpixel confirmation page, meaning they can still book a call, but because they have more than the minimum budget to invest, but they haven't got the highest budget to invest, they will only send the highest earners back to my pixel. We are not doing this for this offer. We're doing it for other offers, but definitely something you can implement to improve your pixel if you're getting a lot of unqualified leads. Now, meaning basically in this step, I would have another confirmation page be over there, and this would not be pixeled, and this here one would be pixeled, and then I would only send the people with a lot of money to invest into this page, and the people with less money to invest to this page, and the people with no money to invest to this page. Sorry, this would be C, right? Yeah, and basically with the scheduler, we only want to allow leads to book in 3 days in the future. Otherwise, we will absolutely cook our show up rates, because who of you guys out there will commit to a call that he schedules in 3 weeks? Who will still have the highest intent to show up to this call, right? No one. Which is why we want to prohibit that our lead intent declines and simply make them commit instantly to a call, making way easier for them to show up and get closed. Then we want to send a round robin, not robbing, event with different priorities. If you have various closers, what I highly can recommend you set the highest priority for your best closer and the lowest priority for your worst closers, and then potentially add qualification questions to Calendly as well. If you need to increase friction, we don't recommend this, okay? We only capture the text number for reminders there. And then we recommend doing 45-minute long sales calls, since it gives our salespeople enough time to conduct the discovery, the pre-pitch, the pitch, and the post-pitch process with all the objection handling and so on. And 45 minutes are just making it so much easier for our closers, okay? We want to have high-quality sales calls and not the highest volume. Quality over quantity, okay? And after they booked a call, we send them to our confirmation page, which is essentially this wonderful page over there, which is our due diligence confirmation page, right? As you can see over there. We've got the titles over there as well. And the question is, how much money can I make with remote sales? Can I do this along my studies with a nice design? We've got some special videos over there. This is, by the way, me adding a picture. This doesn't look like this. I realize we've got our client interviews, more testimonials, So massive confirmation page. And this confirmation page is so crucial to actually show up and pre-sale the pitch at the actual call. Right? The worst thing that happens is if leads book in a call but don't show up, or if they show up for information. So if you're running cold webinars, cold BSS, your show up rate will probably be around 50% if you don't dial this in. And just increasing your show up rate to 70% will increase your ROAS by around 20%. Right? So we need to bring them as much valuable information as possible, handling objections, setting expectations, tackling every single question they might have. Now, most high-ticket businesses do their confirmation pages completely wrong. And I'm telling you this because I'm seeing this, and I did it before as well, until understanding the due diligence best practices. Now, the due diligence best practices are basically come from the kind of like when you want to buy a business, you do the due diligence, right? You want to make sure this business is actually legit. You want to check the numbers, you want to check the results, you want to check your stuff, every single thing that you need to do their due diligence. And we want our customers to do their due diligence on us. We want to provide them with as much information to help them obviously do their due diligence, be absolutely convinced that we're the right company to work with. Now, we do this by confirming and affirming their action relating to skepticism and introducing the due diligence framework, then CTAing them to get informed and read through all the stuff that we got for them. Never scare your leads away with something like, wait, stop, don't leave this page, don't do this. What we do is we should even remove this one and simply make a check mark in there. Congratulations, you have taken the first step toward remote income. Okay, we say the first step, meaning there are other steps following, and these are the other steps, right? Follow these steps to ensure you prepare for your call, right? Nothing like, stop, wait, don't go, your call isn't confirmed yet. No, we don't want to scare them away. We want to affirm their behavior, confirm what they've already done, making them understand that booking was the best decision of their life, and then telling them exactly what they should do next. This opens their mind for new information, right? It's kind of like training a dog. You're getting a dog does something good. Like I don't want them like don't get this wrong. Highest respect, but just it makes it so easy to understand, right? A dog does something wrong. I'm slapping the dog over there. I'm telling him, don't leave, dog. You're doing it wrong, right? The dog will think, the dog does something right, and I'm slapping, and the dog will think, oh, okay, my right action actually is wrong. My good action actually is wrong. I shouldn't do it. And you will do the opposite, meaning not showing up to a call. But if you tell your dog, good, here's your goodie, take this. Great, you've done great work. No, do this next thing next. And the dog will think, oh, yeah, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And we humans are like dogs, we're animals, right? Our entire system works like this. And if you're affirming the action, we're kind of giving their dopamine system, making it understand that they be getting rewarded for taking this action. You could even give them a free lead magnet. I'm not exaggerating. Here's a free gift for booking your call, right? Maybe we should implement this. Again, this opens their mind to new information. Most people, as you can see over there, this is our thank you due diligence VSL. I will show you this really quick. So we confirm and affirm their action over here. Most people watch videos, get excited to do absolutely you different. You actually took the step. This already affirms them, makes them feel superior than others. So before anything else, go to your inbox right now, find the calendar invite, hit confirm to lock in your spot. The meeting link is there too. Now let's get straight to it. Between now and you call, my job is to help you do your due diligence. So we already introduced the due diligence framework. You probably have a list of questions running through your head right now about the offer, about whether we actually legit, about what kind of results are realistic, how long it takes, and what makes what we do different from everything else. All of that is completely fair. I understand you, right? Can you see we're relating to the skepticism? We're positioning us as their friend. We want to help you guys, right? We understand all this. And I'm going to answer every single one of those questions before we even got into the call. Introduce the due diligence framework. Starting now, scroll down on this page and you'll find videos, case studies, client results, everything to give you a transparent look at what we do and what people are actually achieving. CTA to get informed. Then again, due diligence framework, the more informed you are going into the call, the more valuable that conversation is going to do. Then relatability. I personally like to do the exact same thing when I'm showing up for the sales call. I will be sending you a series of emails with helpful videos and guides. So keep an eye on your inbox. When you show up, be somewhere where you can focus. Obviously, we work with people who are on this schedule, serious. If you no-show, we won't be able to reschedule. We respect your time and we ask for the same return, right? Obviously, like we're doing this because we don't want people who schedule and don't show up. Okay, so we have a strict no-show policy. All right, confirm that and go through the materials on this page. Okay, can you see? It's very, very, very simple video. We don't want to make it too long because we want to give them the capacity to watch this video quickly, already get the most important things that they need to understand before they call, and then have really the time to dive into all of these different videos over there. Now, the first thing that they will see are the breakout videos. We build 8 to 16 breakout videos that cover the most common objections, expectations, and questions. The earlier we do that in the sales process, the more we're able to reduce drop-off rates, right? And questions could be, is this market saturated? Can I do this alongside work? Do I need special skills? How do my first 60 days like? Are you actually legit? What is your client success rate? How do I get hired? How do I learn sales? What does your placement system work? And so many more questions, right? And you can literally use similar questions for use right now. Then we want to have an urgency breakout with you. We don't have this for this client. I definitely need to implement this. This is something like, why should I take action now? Why it's the best time to take action now? And then you build urgency, right? Very, very important thing to get people off the edge and actually make them commit to the call. We have a full backend video reviewing client success rates, like where our client actually logs in, shows his Discord, shows all the different wins, what's actually happening there. This is this video over there, full 10-minute video of client reviews, as you can see over there. Then we have another due diligence video, which is the full backend video. Now the full job board video where he's walking through the community and the job board, because it's kind of a sales coach level. We have Jackson's job board, probably you should know it. And he shows basically, okay, how does my placement work? How do I place students on offers? How does the job board work? How does the entire community look like? He's running them through everything in there, as you can see, right? Another 14 minutes long, right? And then we have we will also introduce an offer video where he's walking through all the deliverables that the offer actually covers, very in depth, right? That they already know. Okay, what does this offer consist like? Meaning we do all this because so that our salespeople don't have to answer all of these questions, right? And by doing that, these guys are already pre-sold on the actual pitch on the call. They are pre-sold by the founder himself. And they are way more likely to show up because they already know what this entire thing is, right? And we can handle specific objections then on the sales call. Then we have our proof section, client interviews over there. I think these are around 10 to 12 different client interviews, transformations, and wins. Show your best results, your most recent results, your oldest results, consistent results, and especially medium results as well. People like to see how good and how bad it can get, okay? By only demonstrating top results, you're breaking authenticity because people think, this looks too good to be true. Isn't there anyone who hasn't seen the best results in there? So use medium results as well to build credibility. Use client interviews, screenshots, Trustpilot, reviews, every single thing. Now, backend nurturing, crucial thing. It doesn't end with this confirmation page. Okay. Now, obviously, you're already miles ahead with it, but it doesn't end it, right? So we want to allow leads to book within 3 days, right? So we need to consistently get valuable content in front of their eyes. Now, obviously, with the confirmation page, this is where you have the highest intent there because they just took an action. But then in the next 3 days, life can come up. They might be doing other things, or they might simply forget the call or not be that interested in doing so. So we want to prohibit this by doing email follow-ups, SMS follow-ups, sales team follow-ups, send with sales assets, hammer them ads, and SMS. So we send 4 to 6 value-dense long-form email reminders a day that contain sales assets, meaning YouTube videos, client interviews, group coaching, call recordings with increased frequency on the last day that contain the 4 quadrants of content, which is first layer questions, second layer questions, objections, expectations. And we can even use content repurposing. So I could turn a breakout video, something like this. Can I do remote side alongside my studies, alongside my 9 to 5, simply into an email, right? Because maybe people haven't watched the breakout video, but they will read the email, okay? Then SMS, we want to send 6 text reminders that contain the location link. So the Zoom call, Google Meet, whatever you're using, plus the one tile. And we want to ideally use SendBlue to send blue text, which has a way higher op rate. You can't do this for webinars with where you need a lot of bulk SMS, but for kind of this pinpoints for the sales call where you don't have the highest volume, that's definitely doable and will significantly reduce your rates of getting flagged as a spammer and increase your open rates, increase your overall show up rates as well. Then we want to have 25 to 35 short form hammer ads that target leads to book the call, 15 to 20 long form hammer ads that target book calls. We want to target our URL traffic. Ideally, again, this is some media buying stuff. If that confuses you, no worries. The thing is, you basically want to implement all of the stuff in there. You want to record a bunch of videos that basically are the exact same thing, like all these breakout videos over there, target objections, um, first layer questions, skepticism, anything that they might have concerning this video, this business model or this call. And then you want to craft ads, like short form ads, like reels, or long form ads, kind of like YouTube video style. Just cut out the intro and the outro to make it value dense, and hammer guys on Meta, meaning on Facebook, meaning on Instagram, with these videos to make sure they show up, to make sure they know they are as well informed as possible. And obviously, social media is the best place to do so, even better than email, even better than SMS, because people are doom scrolling on social media all the time and they found you there. So we only want to show this to people who actually booked a call. Now, we're doing this with URL traffic, so people who visited this page over there, simply because we won't book. Actually, we do probably, right? Maybe I could even switch just to book calls. But a lot of you guys won't book 100 sales calls in 3 days, and I think we don't. You probably book like 50 calls or stuff like that, if not more, right? Anyways, audience retention to 3 days. Hammer the match should align with the 4 quadrants of content, and we want a massive increase in show up rates, right? So then we have also our sales team process over there, meaning basically our setup pre-try just leads, then adds them to a WhatsApp group of the closer. The closer introduces himself through a sales video saying something like, "Hey Joe, I saw you just scheduled a call with us. Pretty cool. My name is Simon, by the way. I'm one of my clients XYZ's team members, and I'm just here to help. I will be taking the call with you. My job from now until the call is to make sure you as well informed as possible to help you make your best decision. So I'm going to send you a video that probably resonates with your current situation, simply because you're also working in corporate finance right now. We've got one client who worked in corporate finance, who joined our program, and who's seen this and this and that results in this and this and that time. I'm sending you his interview here. Maybe you will get a lot of information from how you could get started the best way possible with your current conditions and the starting position that you're in right now, because it's similar to our clients. Make sure to check it out. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I will be sending you a lot of valuable assets here as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the call. I'm not a closer, but do you see how easy it is to freestyle this kind of stuff? You need to do it. If your closers aren't doing it, I don't know what you're doing, right? Then the closer sends relevant sales assets as well, again, such as this client interview, for example, which is tailored because this client was in a similar situation to the prospect, or such as this gamma board, which is a massive, 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 massive pre-call gamma board that we give to our closers, that we embed in our email flows. Then basically our emails contain this massive gamma board. Our closers send them this gamma board where they we explain why we send them this. This is the showing them what setting is, our story, how the program looks like, results. Then we explain what appointment setting is in this case. We explain the opportunity. We explain the numbers, how the entire program works. We explain what makes us different, our unique selling position. We show student wins. We show FAQs. Founder story as well. I don't know why I didn't see it. Founder stories, and this is the founder story. This is the founder story. Questions, FAQ, expectations, client wins, client wins, clients wins. So a massive sales page that we're sending to them just pre-call, okay? And as you can see, this is every single thing that we do to make sure our booked calls actually show up and are already pre-sold on the page. So this way, we're not only increasing our show rates, but we're also increasing our close rates to 30%, 32% nearly on cold traffic, which is absolutely insane. Anyone out there yapping that his close rates are at around 70 to 80% either has absolutely warm traffic and has never run a single ad in his life, or is completely bullshitting you, because I want to see 70 to 80% close. I've never seen it across all of the clients that we work with. And we've worked with killers on the sales team. We've worked with sales teams who are doing multiple 6 figures a month, right? Now, just something from this perspective. Another massive thing that I wanted to show you in this video is the high ticket forecast, because now you know every single thing that you actually need to see this kind of numbers yourself. And I've literally run you through the exact step that we currently run, exact strategy that we're currently running for this client, how we turn $9 calls into $1,800 clients. And I want to show you how this entire performance might look like for you if you have a dialed in VSL funnel based on your current numbers. So assuming you want to run this VSL funnel yourself, you're selling an offer. I will give you this high ticket forecaster, by the way, issue the MD forecaster on um, Instagram. And then you go over there, go to forecast from paid ads. You're saying, okay, I want to spend around 10K a month on ads. Then it will calculate your paid ads revenue with a VSL funnel and the webinar funnel projection. It will basically show you, okay, so you're spending $10,000, you're booking calls for around $500 a call. It's using very, very, very conservative metrics, because I don't want you guys to think you can make millions with this, like a lot of these guys bullshitting you. Then we have an 80% call show up rate, which is pretty good, to be honest. Maybe I should dial it down a bit. And then 30% close rates, right? But I think kind of setting the call at $200 a call actually equals all of this out. And you can see how much revenue you would make. Obviously, this would be 50K profit if you invested in the VSL funnel, right? And you can do the exact same thing with paid traffic as well. With cold traffic as well, warm traffic as well. If you enter your current offer price, then you go to warm traffic, then you say your number of video views per month. Okay, you're getting videos a month, you're sending, like, let's say you're making 8 videos, you're getting 10,000 views, 1,000 views, you would make $24,000 with this VSL funnel from warm traffic. Yeah, and if you want us guys to come in there and implement this entire thing for you, to help you guys hitting such numbers as our client, for example, right? And we've literally partnered with, we're currently working with multiple clients in the high ticket industry, and they're all scaling to 6-figure months. Some of our clients already crossed these 6-figure months and currently putting in multiple 6 figures. We've hit $167,000 in revenue from one single webinar campaign as well. We're not only doing VSL funnels, webinars as well, which are a massive other funnel. If you want us guys to come in there and implement this exact system for you, so you don't need to guess around or hire an agency that will actually completely overpromise you and never fulfill this kind of stuff, then feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at simon.asma, or directly book in a call with me. Have a look at my own VSL funnel on my page. It isn't the best, but it's still that kind of dialed in on growinginfo.com. Book a call with me there, and we can have a quick chat about how to help your business the best way and have a win-win situation. With that being said, guys, appreciate it. Take care.